The most common question I get asked about the Tesla is, how long does it take to charge? Now it's a simple question, but the answer is not so straightforward because it depends on how flat it is, how much you want to charge it, what rate you're charging, how big the battery is, and those sorts of things. So I'll try and sort of give some real world examples of the charging rates that you can expect to do. Now mine's a P100D, so that means the battery is 100 kilowatt hours. So just keep that in mind.
The first option for charging is this mobile charger. Now this comes with the car. It's basically the get out of trouble charger. There's the end that goes into the car. And the other end is just a normal 10 amp plug. So it just lets you plug in anywhere really. Again, it's not something you normally use, but you always carry it with you. So just plug it in, switch it on, and this unit shows when it's charging and when it's not. You plug it into the car, and the little light will start flashing green once it's charging. And also the disco lights get going on the charging unit there. Now the rate we're getting is 8 kilometers an hour. That's every hour it charges at 8 Ks, but it goes up to 10. It's basically whatever current you've got, which you see there is 10 amps, you usually get about 10 Ks per hour. And my voltage is a bit low there, but that's roughly what it works out to be. And you can see here we've got 9 hours remaining and charging at 8 Ks an hour. But as I said, it will go up to 10 because we've got 10 amps running on it. If I can set this 8 Ks an hour, it's dependent on the current. I can drop that current down. So if I drop it down to say 5 amps, it'll remember that for this location. See, it knows I'm using 5 of 10 available, and the time remaining has jumped right up because we're using less current. Okay, it'll remember that for this location, but I'll just bump it back up to 10 amps, which is the maximum we can get out of a normal power point, and the remaining time comes back down again. Now this is what you'd normally have. You'd have a mounted charger on the wall installed by the electrician, and that's just conveniently lets you plug it in. It's got its own circuit and you can get higher current on that. On this particular one here, I've got 20 amps. So as you can see now, it's doing 20 Ks per hour. So for every hour that it's on charge, it will have put 20 Ks worth of driving into the car. Okay, so as I said, there it is, 20 Ks an hour. Now that setting's based on the typical rating. Now it's got rated. If you use rated, that gives you a higher number, like the rated kilometers of driving you get per charge. See how it's jumped up to 24 now? Okay, if I go back to typical, which is more realistic to be honest with you, it drops back down to 20. So I keep it on typical because that's the most realistic one for the normal driving that you do. Okay, what I've recently got is a dispensation that allowed me to go up to 32 amps on that circuit. So now, again, I get 32 Ks an hour. Same amount of current is how many Ks an hour I get. And that's what I'm running off now at home. And it works out pretty well because if you think about it, it adds 1 K of driving in every 2 minutes roughly. So this will do me fine. And that's what I'm going to use from now on at home. If you look around the place, some places actually give away some electricity. This is a Logan Hyperdome. They've got 2 Tesla chargers and 2 other electric car chargers. So you got your own little spot there to park in, which is pretty good. It's the same deal. You just plug the charger in like at home and charge your car while you're shopping. Now these are 3-phase. If you see the little 3 there next to the 16 amps, it tells you that it's 3-phase. So 3-phase 16 amps gives you, it says 44 here, but that's because I've just plugged it in. I know it goes up to 50. So on a 3-phase 16 amp, you can get 50 Ks an hour. Another one is at the Cleveland Stockland Shopping Centre, and they've got the nice little AstroTurf there. But this one is a bit better because it goes up to 24 amps on 3-phase. So, you know, same deal, you plug it in and just charge up while you're shopping and whatnot. And as you can see there, we've got 24 amps. 3-phase. And it says 72, but I know it goes up to 80 because that's what I had in my old house when I had 3-phase available. So 80 k's an hour on 3-phase 24 amp. So it's creeping up to 74, but you see how it's added 5 kilometers? I've only just plugged it in. Once it gets going, it goes up to its maximum charging rate. Now the big thing is the superchargers. These are pretty serious, and again, I've just plugged it in, so it's only ramping up now. It's showing nearly 300 k's an hour, but it goes up to about 550 k's an hour once they really get going. Now, after a few minutes, I've just done that to show you that, yeah, look, it's over 500 k's an hour now. And you can basically watch the k's go in. See, it's added 42 k's there now. And this is real time. It's 43 now. And you can pretty much just watch the k's tick up. So 44. So it doesn't muck around. And the superchargers are actually DC. So they're slamming in DC straight to the battery. Now, this is the phone app that pretty much tells you the same thing. And that line there, that about 90% is roughly where I charge it. You don't charge it full all the time, just around there. Now, I have a screenshot here of the old phone app because it used to show you the current and the voltage separately. And it used to show that it put in like 300 amps, and that's DC. So that's pretty serious. And while it's supercharging, on the outside, you can hear the fan really winding up. From the front of the car, noticeably around the front wheel there. So it's doing some serious current. But it gets you going if you're on a long trip. So that's Tesla charging.